the struggle has been real. And yes, your girl wears a do-rag. I'm napping. So far, nothing like the Okay, so as I promised, it's your girl J Queen, and I'm back to you with all the E's, the experiences, the essentials, the everyday encounters, and all that extra. So today we're just gonna do a simple get ready with me, and I ain't even going nowhere, but it's story time, so it's time to actually get started on telling y'all about those experiences. And of course, I'm gonna just go ahead and keep it real and do the one that everybody knows the least about, but knows most about me. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my cancer experience. So let's go ahead and start off with the main thing, and that is the diagnosis. Your girl had ovarian cancer, not breast cancer, not lung cancer, not skin cancer, ovarian. That's the biggest thing that people do get misconstrued. So your color is teal. Let's go ahead so I can get some stuff started. I first got my diagnosis at Willis-Knighton, Louisiana. Basically what happened was I was up here in Ruston. I was already going to school, and I had an exam done, and it was just, my females know, your typical every time exam that you actually go get. And that's how we actually found my mass. So at the time, they didn't want us to go to the extremes. They just let me know, like, hey, we found something and we need you to go to a specialist for it. So of course I agreed, and that's how I ended up in Shreveport. The first thing that they did is, with ovarian cancer, one thing that people pretty much do not know is that they don't know if it's cancerous until they take it out of your body. With every other cancer, they have biopsies to where they, can just inject and pull something out. But I had to have the surgery first. If not, they would have had to go on me twice, and your girl wasn't having it. So we went ahead and took the mass out, and they biopsied that. And so it was months after that I actually got information and found out that I had cancer in the first place. And so they gave me my treatment options. I had to go in and have another surgery because the entire ovary that they had was actually cancerous at the time. Now there's gonna be a whole different segment on the fact that if I knew then what I know now, I would have done things differently. But still in all, your girl had another surgery. Now that surgery was a complete ovary removal at the time. So I do have one ovary left. Females have two ovaries, for my guys and my girls. So I do have one more that's still left. Now, from them actually figuring out everything and finding out that I did actually have cancer in that one, they wanted me to remove it, and they wanted me to start doing chemotherapy. And that was scheduled months after my actual first surgery, just so they didn't coincide with each other. So if anybody wants that information, there is different kinds of chemotherapy. They do give you different medicines based on what your actual procedure was and what kind of cancer you actually have. So everybody does not get the same drugs in their body when somebody tells you that they've been on chemo. That's something I did not know as well. My main ones were Taxol and carboplatin. If that is incorrect, I will drop it below. I know I'm saying one of them incorrectly. But based on how severe my cancer was at the time, it was just confined to that one ovary. It had not spread anywhere else. They made me do 6 rounds of chemotherapy. That's how many rounds they thought it would actually take before we actually saw any kind of progress. And so I actually scheduled my chemotherapy to be on Fridays. At the time, I was actually a therapist at an agency where I scheduled my own therapy sessions. So I took a whole chemo class, and I took it with my family members, and we actually found out like some of the effects that chemo would have on my body. And based on those, I figured that if I actually had my chemo on a Friday, it gave me that weekend to recover so I could go back to work the next week. Now, that didn't end up going as planned either, but that was the actual goal in the beginning. So that's how I actually started. Now, some of these side effects. Now, it's weird because I tell people all the time that I gained weight when I was on chemotherapy. Yes, your girl gained weight. And it was because with me actually being as young as I was and my body, I had to take steroids. And so the steroids caused weight gain. Although, one of the side effects of chemo is also the fact that it does ruin your appetite, you guys. Like, I went through the phase where all of my food tasted like metal. Your girl liked to eat. So, food tasting like metal, yeah, your girl wasn't happy with it. There were times where I could taste everything. My taste buds were coming back. But by the time my taste buds would actually come back, I had to do another round of chemo. So just when things started to get better, it seemed like I had another round of injections inside my body. And it was just crazy. I actually had my first surgery, and my first surgery was the removal of that ovary, and that's when we found out everything was cancerous. Then we came back when I actually got out of remission the next time, and they told me that I should have a hysterectomy, and they wanted to remove my other ovary. And like I said, you have two of those that you actually, only need one. So what they did instead with my new doctor is that they scraped all the cancerous cells off of that ovary. So all of the extra tissue and the mass that they actually saw in my new ovary, they went and they just cut it. So I had a new baseline after that. Remember the cancer antigen numbers that I did tell you about? Those numbers actually went down again, but they didn't go down as much as they expected. So they said that this was my new baseline. Now in November of 2019, I went back again. This is after I had been in remission for a while. And my cancer numbers had went up in the 50s. And from it going up in the 50s, that meant I was no longer in remission. My cancer was starting to revolt back into my body. And shout out to my dad. He wanted me to do an alternative treatment. And that treatment is based out of New Orleans. I will do an entire segment on that and give you more information. But with that treatment, I had to do an entire protocol. I had to do an entire diet. That diet consisted of me mainly eating raw foods. The girl loves pecans. So fruits are the biggest thing that I actually got to eat, and different nuts. So I basically would do raw fruits and I would do basic nuts, and that's what I would actually eat. And I was also taking this protocol. Their belief is that your body heals itself. For example, say I got a bobo on my arm right here. And when I got that bobo, of course, it naturally heals itself. So they believe that your body actually heals itself. That is something that your body is capable of. And I know a lot of people aren't open. There's still people that have disbelief to different things. I'm not encouraging anybody to actually believe what I believe, but I can tell you what actually worked for me. And so I did that protocol and that treatment, basically giving my body time away from digestion, from dealing with different matters, to actually focus on the cancer cells and to get my body back into a state of relative living. And the next time that I actually went to the doctor, doing that protocol for 2 months and actually taking those medicines, which are basically herbs and supplements, my numbers went down to 26. All the way from the high 50s. Now, remember I told you earlier that my baseline was now in the 30s, and they said that I was never going to get lower than that. So trying an alternative treatment put me at a lower number than they even expected. And it basically, debunks some of the things that we know and we actually live on today. But from that treatment, I'm down to the 20s. Now, I was actually released to be not able to come to the doctor for the next 3 months after that actually happened. So that's basically where I'm at on my journey right now. And so I can always go back to that protocol. I can always go back to that diet, but I have changed my diet drastically. And that's something I will talk about further. But I've changed my diet so my body does not go back into, exceeding those numbers at the rate that it actually was. I want to be in the healthiest rate possible. I want to be able to live longer. I want to be able to do the things that I want to do. And taking care of myself is one of those things that aids in that. And whether that means that I can't eat certain things and I can't do certain things, we have to make sacrifices and we have to prioritize what's most important in our lives. And sometimes we have to take risks and we have to do that. And that's just basically where I am right now. But once again, I'm open to any questions on that. I will do complete segments on each treatment that I've had thus far. I will go more into detail. It's just a lot of things to cover, but I wanted to tell y'all about the experience in general. I want to tell y'all about chemo in general. I want to talk to y'all about surgery in general. I want to talk to y'all about alternative treatments. If you're interested in those things, please let me know. I know those are things that are not talked about much in the world and things that people are not as open about. But that's one of these reasons that I'm here on this YouTube channel. I didn't have the information that I needed at the time, and it would have changed a lot of things and I would have done things differently, So I hope that you guys enjoyed that part. Okay. So, just to wrap everything up experience-wise, because you're about to put some clothes on and go outside and chill with my puppy. So, the whole cancer experiences has been one of the biggest things that has affected my life. I found out the time period right before I was about to graduate with my master's. I had to have multiple surgeries. I had to go through chemotherapy. I tried to embark on starting my career, and I still had to deal with the treatment. At the time, I was in a relationship, and that affected my relationship greatly. There's just so many different avenues that people don't think of that your health actually impacts. Now, it did actually change my life for the better. I have become more in tune with my health. I have been more knowledgeable. I've learned different things. I'm open to trying different things. People say this all the time, but things happen in your life, and at the end of the day, you do have to live with them. So why not treat them in a positive manner? And that's just something that I learned how to do. And we're going to talk about experiences a lot on my channel, because even though I'm at such a young age, I've been through so many things that I feel like other people can actually learn and grow from. And if they don't have experiences like I have, they've had something going on in their life that, we can actually talk about and actually look at on a different level, if that makes a lot of sense to you guys. So I'm going to come show you my final look when I finally do put my clothes on, and stay tuned. Make sure you like, you subscribe, make sure you comment, ask me any questions, tell me more content that you would like to see from me. If you don't think I look that bad, maybe we could actually do something with this look. I'm not pretty good on makeup, but I can show you a little something on natural hair and my hair pattern, which is something that I'm actually gonna do a segment on as well, because your girl hair done grew back. Okay, your girl got length, your girl got hang time. Okay, anyway, so until next time, which won't be that long, it will be soon. How got the overalls on? It's about to be a chill, relaxed day during this quarantine. So subscribe, like, comment, give me any suggestions that you guys would want me to cover. Ask me any questions so that I can answer them for y'all. And until next time, that's it. That's lit.